Welcome back to the LCS Countdown. We're hyped to get into our 4 matches of the day. We kick things off with Evil Geniuses aiming to stop Team Liquid's perfect start to the split. Golden Guardians will then face off against Cloud9 in Game 3 with 100 Thieves versus Immortals before the Bud Light League Lounge, where the Tigress, Kobe, and Crumbs will join me for a set of games that pry the deepest, darkest secrets from its participants. And you won't want to miss it. Did you throw in some really deep, dark secrets there, Crumbs? I'm worried mine aren't going to be deep or dark enough.
I don't think I have dark secrets, but they're deep, Dash, and you might think they're yours. They go so deep that you're thinking, was I living his life? Were those things that I did?
All right, well, we're bordering on creepy, but stay tuned to the end of the show, and we'll figure out if we go that far. Ahead of us, we've got Game 1 of the day, and that has Evil Geniuses versus Team Liquid, where both teams came into the weekend undefeated, but only one is going to remain so here. And that's, EG falling yesterday, which caused that.
Yeah, and honestly, TL is going to be a hard beat. I think they're a pretty solid team, especially with their drafts. I spoke about it a little bit more with the Trundle. It's kind of jokey, but really, realistically, they only had one draft that was pretty questionable where they didn't draft enough Engage, but overall, they've had a pretty solid game plan going into the game, and that's definitely something that's hard to beat right now.
The one caveat I'll throw on for some of this is that they have played relatively easy opponents so far that I haven't felt them tested yet, and they have been able to win off some mistakes by their opponents. You look at the game just yesterday where 100 Thieves was doing a Baron with Kalista. Like, this is a free objective, but for whatever reason, Meteos and Cody somewhere on the same page, and Broxah is able to get in there and smite this. Yes, they were winning the game already. Yes, they probably could have chased some of these kills down anyways, but it's still one of those unforced errors that TL has done a good job capitalizing on, but I don't think I've seen them actually force enough on their own compared to some of the other top teams in the league.
Yeah, we covered yesterday as well what was the main one for 100 Thieves, but they have been making a lot of moves that are really positive, like the CoreJJ roams towards the mid lane, and this is the match against Golden Guardians, where Golden Guardians actually got significantly far ahead in the early game, but once again, with Ocean Soul, if you're not able to win in a team fight later on, it looks like a pretty big draft disadvantage, and that's what happened. Team Liquid was able to just wait the game out and then win the game that way. So against Evil Geniuses, you're thinking, well, their draft hasn't been that drastic in errors, except for yesterday's, where the Kassadin, I think, was quite questionable both in the build and the actual pick itself. But I think EG had a perfect game, which no one has had this split so far, although it's very short, and that really still counts for something, because being able to close out against anybody that quickly is really impressive.
I think EG is a tough team to nail down right now, specifically because of that perfect game to open the split, but then the tough loss to a dominant opponent like Cloud9 just yesterday.
This was their perfect game, where that's exactly where we start for EG after the win 100 Thieves, a 2-0 weekend, and we're thinking, okay, this team might be really amazing, especially since we're thinking that this is the same lineup that had the capacity to contest against Cloud9 in playoffs, right? They got really close, so that's the expectation that we have for them. The biggest surprise, though, I think has been Kumo. He's really been stepping it up, and I know Mark pointed out that this was actually only possible because Licorice E'd the minion away instead of the big bear in front of him.
Yeah, but I still want to give a lot of credit to Kumo. He's been fantastic through 3 games, and he was someone who had a lot of scrutiny on top of him after Kuni was brought in, kind of as almost like warming him up until he's ready to go as a resident. But Kumo's actually making a great case for him to hold on to his position. Picked up Volibear, was able to play it very well. He was the lone bright spot in that kind of disappointing loss to C9. He also, like we saw, had that game on Poppy. That was the perfect game. And against Someday, he held his own, was actually going to big CS advantage. So I think Kumo has been incredible so far through the first 3 games.
So probably where do we place the blame then, if not on Kumo, for EG's loss?
I mean, I talk up Jiizuke all the time, so I'm very comfortable saying, Jiizuke, you done messed up in that C9 game. I'm not going to debate the Kassadin pick too much because I'm sure they had some thoughts behind it. Niski's a roamer. He doesn't normally punish lane as hard as he did in the other game. But with Kassadin, you have so many choices to be defensive in lane to survive, because that's your goal. You want to get to the late game with Kassadin. But he didn't take the fleet footwork, which is very common. He didn't take resolve secondary, which is another bonus, kind of regen spec that you can go. And he also didn't take the Doran shield, which is a very popular item, especially against someone who has constant harass like Karma. So this was a big problem that I saw yesterday. And not to mention his greedy believer tendencies kind of crept up, where he wanted to get some extra CS and just died with his Rift Walk up in front of Licorice and Blabber is a little sad to see the
I
dream
like
get
it.
shut down.
Mark, he's no longer just a dreamer. He's now a believer. He believes he can accomplish everything he
I guess
dreams
there's
up.
like steps to it. First, you got to dream up the play. Then you got to believe you can execute it.
Well,
And you
that's
actually have to.
That's what
do
happened
it.
to him in spring, right? At first, it was like, whoa, what are all these plays? We're not too sure. But eventually, he started getting those down, and we're like, yeah, keep thinking about those plays because nobody else is able to pull them
became
off.
believers at that point. Let's expand this conversation then kind of around the mid lane. If maybe the ball was dropped a little bit by Jiizuke, let's hone in on the mid-jungle matchup between these two squads. You've got, of course, Svenskeren and Jiizuke on one side, a powerhouse duo, but Broxah and Jensen seem to be finding a bit of a footing here in summer where that was lacking in spring.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Mark
go ahead.
first.
All right, yeah, I think Trundle, which we've been talking about a lot, that has been kind of the staple for TL. Finally seeing him on Graves was great for Broxah, but I still haven't seen a ton of Jensen roaming around or anything like that, which is what some of us were looking for. But I think Jensen historically has been pretty resource heavy, and he's been able to use those well. So I don't think they need to try and change up their style too much. We've talked about CoreJJ going mid and the level 1s all supporting him. And so it's fine to let Broxah and I think Jensen be a little bit separate. Let Broxah run around the map where he thinks it's best to go rather than tunneling on Jensen in the early game, quite like EG does with Jiizuke.
Probably you got a follow-up to that?
I mean, I agree with Mark. I think it's not too much mid jungle on TL side. If anything, it's mid support because we see CoreJJ helping out mid lane every single game so far. He's just cheesing it with either like Bard W or he's hooking the Azir. Like, he's really annoying, and I think he's helped Jensen more than Broxah so far.
All right, well, you did just kind of give me a sense of what you might expect out of Team Liquid there probably, but I'm going to flip the tables on you for win conditions, and I'm going to put you in charge of Evil Geniuses. What do you got for me?
All right, so if I'm playing against TL, since I know them so well, I'm going to go ahead and say, I want to counter pick for Sven. I think the way Broxah got exploited by Closer was really punishing to TL's early game, and they almost lost. I think Svenskeren is playing really on form, and he's actually able to play these counter pick jungles like the Kindred, like the Graves, or the Nidalee. So I'm excited to see that. And then so far, CoreJJ has only been playing Playmaker's bot, and Zeyzal's only been playing range supports. If EG can sucker TL into playing their style and do a range matchup bot, I think they're going to be able to take a lot of edge away from CoreJJ.
All right, and Crumbs, you're the man for Team Liquid.
I'm already feeling good if EG's going to stick to those win conditions, because I think what Team Liquid needs to do is it's based on the week of scrims and how confident they are. So if they're feeling really good, pinch that Twisted Fate again. It looked really solid. It's a very powerful pick in the meta right now. And if you're going to go with those range supports in the bottom lane, you can just pick a lot of crowd control in your side lanes and split push to win. If EG wants a team fight, split push is a way to tear that apart. However, if you're not feeling too great about it, well, go back to the Trundle and the Graves and just pick to outscale. It's worked twice against opponents that were not able to cleanly close out the game, and it's the motto for Team Liquid this split, which is just slow and steady. Once they understand that, hey, if we just keep holding on to our resources right now, we're going to win the game, they're not really letting your opponent call out back into the match.
Well, those are the thoughts from our analysts on how each of these teams can navigate to victory. This would now typically be the time where I test the mettle of the three of you and your predictions for the day. But as it is Father's Day, we'll do it by proxy. So each of our LCS fathers threw in their predictions across the broadcast team. And here they are now. You can see the major differences coming in Game 1 with an even split. 3 dads for TL and 3 dads for EG. And then Ezreal's father, the only one to come in hot with a hot take in Game 4 of the day between the 0-3 teams Immortals prediction. Come on!
I'm glad my dad went pretty safe. I actually disagree with him on the first game about EG, and he was like, they're the favorite, right? And I was like,
convinced
maybe.
Oh, wait, you're not supposed to give them tips?
I didn't give him tips. I disagreed. And I
Mark, you're
choice.
saying you would have predicted EG?
Yeah, I would have predicted EG, but
Okay.
I totally respect my dad. He'll probably be right, so I'm good with it.
Yeah. I'm all in with my dad there. Team Liquid on the top of the day, and he aligns with yours. So Mark and my dad are tethered together in their fates, and then Crumbs and Prolly, looks like the two of yours are as well. So that first game will be the decider, unless Ezreal's dad does be proven right in the fourth game of the day. And guess what? There's a prize on the line here. A lot of times we do a weekly wager with the punishment, but we want to celebrate our dads here at the LCS. So this quality 100% polyester tie with hand-stitched embroidered design that lets everyone know, hey, there goes the world's #1 dad. These works of art are made to last. And there's 2 of them. It's a set. You got your tie for the black tie events, and then your more casual #1 dad in the blue, the shiny blue.
That's going to look really good in my free will donation box.
What? You're not shipping that to your father if he wins it, Crumbs? That's so rude.
I'm keeping in mind for me, for cat dad, because I have my cats running around all the time.
There it is. Yeah, your #1 cat dad. See, there it is. Perfect. All right, well, the games are just about ready, so it's time for us to hand it over to Riv and Kobe for game #1.
Thank you very much, Dash. Welcome, all you beautiful people. I am Rivington Bisland III, and I am joined by the OP operator of picks. It is Sam Kobe Hartman Kensler. What's up, man? How you doing?
That's what I always got to do. You got to research the OP picks so you can gain LP before everybody else catches on.
Nice Fiddlesticks video, by the way. I definitely learned a lot there, and I will try to not mess it up going through the jungle and probably get ganked a bunch of times. But we're about to get into our first game of the day here. It is Evil Geniuses versus Team Liquid, a test for both teams and a test for EG to try to take the game off of Team Liquid here. Let's see what they have in picks and bans, Kobe.
Yeah, I like how yesterday Team Liquid showed some variation. They jumped on the train of Twisted Fate, which has been used really effectively across the world with crowd control in the side lanes and one of these super strong invading power farming junglers. Now Team Liquid on red side though, so EG should have the upper hand here. As red side, you generally have to ban out things like the Varus, Graves, super high priority. Bottom lane and jungle right now allows the blue side a bit more of the target bans, and they do choose to take out the Kalista that Tactical and CoreJJ have used a tremendous amount. A little bit worried about some early aggression in that bottom side. I think Bang and Zeyzal have been really well at like getting through lane phase, scaling into those team fights.
Yeah, 3 picks for Bang so far on the Aphelios. We'll see if it is the first pick priority here, since it's left up in the ban phase. That Yuumi does get taken away. Jiizuke and Zeyzal were able to wreak havoc on a Yuumi Corki comp, but that Aphelios does get locked in for Bang 4 in a row.
Yep, spot on there, Riv. They like the Aphelios with some safety support from Zeyzal. Analyst has kind of touched on it, but the other games, they've liked to have Zeyzal on like Lulu or something like that to speed him up, give him a bit more power later in the game too. Team Liquid, though, locking in the blind Cassiopeia, scaling AP threat for Jensen in the mid lane, and the Trundle that they used both games in week 1 for Broxah. Whenever Graves is banned out, this is their highest priority. Gives you the ability to shred the enemy frontline as well as focus on objectives.
Imagine if that's Tactical's Cassiopeia. Liquid throwing everyone for the
Could
loot
be.
here.
Could
yeah,
be.
Tactical did say he holds himself to high regard. Maybe that's expanding the champion pool here under pressure as they go for game 4. Volibear getting locked in here. We saw Kumo wreaking havoc against Licorice a little bit in the free videos coming into the day. And Jiizuke looks like a little global pressure put on the map by Twisted Fate here.
Yeah, they had a super effective Twisted Fate game versus CLG. He utilized it really well to get the side lane snowballing and can split push later. And they combo with Volibear. Volibear has a really strong top lane early game. He can bully most of the super prevalent top laners up there, at least the melee ones. It is an early pick though, so Team Liquid could answer Impact going some sort of range matchup, try and abuse him.
14 seconds left here for Liquid. What will they decide to take away?
Well, I think they should be focusing on some of the jungle bans here because EG still don't have anything for Svenskeren. Looks like they're banning out to protect the Thresh though. Blitzcrank is one of the few things that people like to pick into Thresh. Generally, Thresh super blind pickable. The only problem is you root yourself a little bit when you're setting up a death sentence and Blitzcrank can try and pull you.
Yeah, that hook for hook. I'm excited to see CoreJJ's Thresh again. Always being aggressive and positioning well for these hooks. What do they have Shen taken away? Team Liquid, they say, we give you no way to globally answer us just yet. Take that off the board. 12 seconds left. Is Team Liquid really hashing out what they want to take away from the hands of Evil Geniuses? Kumo played quite a bit, but we see that Volibear top, so they don't have to ban towards that. The Morgana gets taken away from Zeyzal. The only other thing he has really is the Lulu plays. So they're trying to get into his head here and see what else he has.
Yeah, they also take away the Jace. Talking about, they'll want those range matchups into Volibear. Let's see. Team Liquid. Honestly, into Volibear, I think they might just actually save their top lane pick till last and make sure Evil Geniuses are putting there, because Volibear you can put in the jungle as well. Hasn't been used yet in the jungle, but they could easily flex that to Svenskeren and have it be a jungle Volibear. So they do that. They just grab the Ezreal now, and they'll wait till later. No surprise with the Ezreal. Super common down in bottom lane into Aphelios.
2 left here for Evil Geniuses. What's your take on the volley jungle? Better than average, average, below?
I mean, it's definitely better than it used to be. This is definitely going to be the top lane now that we see Kindred locked in here for Svenskeren. The ultimate has added a gap closer, which Volibear sorely needed from the old version. Kindred, though, one of these champions that EG are going to want to play aggressively early on. With Twisted Fate and Kindred, you should be able to get some early marks for Svenskeren, since Kindred has a really good range advantage over Trundle and should be able to save the Q to dodge away from the pillar and away from the extra slow, not allowing Trundle ever to close that gap. Kindred has a lot of control because you get a little mini slow on your E, as well as resets on your Q to dance around the Trundle.
Looking at what Team Liquid here has picked recently, obviously Impact has had that Mordekaiser. This will be pick number 3. Pick number 3 for Trundle on Broxah, so they're really synergizing those two up top being some sort of tank force, some sort of force that can be in the fight or completely disrupt it. And then you have your damage from the bottom side of the map, with CoreJJ being CoreJJ. So definitely something you can see here from the picks of Team Liquid and the way they've wanted to play. And no team has been able to find a way through it here. Evil Geniuses, they try to make the master plan, Kobe. They have a pretty great team to get into those fights, but also have some pretty decent lanes for themselves here to give Svenskeren an easy time.
I think I'm going to be looking at top lane for Evil Geniuses, mainly early on. Okay. The top triangle of the map. The Twisted Fate and Kindred trying to play off of Volibear's strength. Impact has been very, very good on the Mordekaiser. Both games in week 1, he was pivotal in their victories, both having a strong lane phase and making big plays for them later on around objectives. So it is going to be a big thing because there's definitely scaling options on both sides. Team Liquid love to go with, Trundle and super good scaling backline, and they have that with the Cassio this time around too.
All right, well, we get that 4th pick of Aphelios for Evil Geniuses coming in here as they try to take down Team Liquid, who are 3-0 coming into the summer split with new head coach Jat. Team Liquid, however, obviously one of the better teams from the spring split. Jat. From the spring split.
We know him.
Yeah, we know him. They are really able to kind of turn the tables in a game when you're least expecting it, whether that be a Jiizuke or someone else. In the spring split, we saw it be a little bit of everything. Now it seems like they're more honing pressure behind Jiizuke, following him into fights instead of kind of peering off into the distance saying, oh, there he goes again. They're definitely more on board with his zaniness, and it seems to be working out for him.
Yeah, big thing, obviously, about Twisted Fate Ultimate, giving you a vision of the entire enemy team. It allows EG to check the positions before they commit to some of these aggressive skirmishes that they want to pull off. So, again, I'm super excited to see how well he uses that with Svenskeren in combination to get control of early Scuttle Crabs, start stacking up those marks early on for Kindred so you can get the bonus range and be one of the big carriers towards the team fights for them.
Absolutely. And as you said, towards the top lane, seeing Kumo again on the Volibear, will he feel comfortable against Impact, who again is going through a playthrough with this 3rd-time Mordekaiser on the summer? And will that have a lot of effect? You said we're going to be watching that triangle towards the top side. So I'm excited to see if mid's kind of left on an island a bit while this happens, or they do kind of participate with that long range they have to affect the game. I think it's going to be tough for Evil Geniuses if they don't get a hold early. Team Liquid has played good from ahead from what we've seen and really haven't been behind. So I feel like their strength in the game is something to be tested here, and Evil Geniuses could do just that, Kobe. We're heading on to the Rift, and we are about to get our answer right here in week 2 of the summer split. I feel like we're moving to it so fast already.
Yeah. I mean, I always feel like Summer Split goes super fast, trying to work your way towards Worlds. Team Liquid making a fast invade for themselves over the ward, and Bang will be able to walk his way out. Does scout it out. Good attempt there once again by Team Liquid, trying to pull off one of those pincer moves. Maybe you get an early summoner spell or something if people are not paying attention, but they don't have a tremendous amount of level 1 power, so just pull it back off after that. There was actually no counter invade from EG on the top side to get a deeper ward from anyone. This kind of stood there, even knowing the positions of all the Team Liquid members. Usually you'll have whoever's on top side go put one of the deeper wards onto Red or Raptors, so you get an early tracking on Broxah, and that can really help out Svenskeren trying to navigate towards the early marks. But it's going to be a red start for him, heading up towards that top side that we were kind of talking about, looking for some power.
It seems like Kumo was trying to get that information, as you were just talking about, but a little late, like kind of like an afterthought. Maybe seeing impact towards the top side or on the right idea. Broxah heading off of red straight to the bottom. And there's a question mark ping as well, so we'll see. EG is kind of saying maybe getting his own path down right now, so play safe. Friend to one side of it. Jensen and Jiizuke. Oh. Seeing gold. Still even trade though.
Broxah's there.
Even trade could be tipped. That poison's not going to hit. Jensen doesn't get the speed to catch up there. Broxah just a little off to the side as he tries to come up from the bottom. So a quick yank right after red, and he goes all the way around Kobe. He doesn't even go from the top side.
Yeah, that one definitely felt like Jensen communicating, hey, Jiizuke's playing super aggressively. You saw him walking up really far for the gold card, but that is really going to hurt Broxah. He walked all the way from red down around, wrapped around to the bottom side for that gank. Just look at Svenskeren. He is tearing away through the jungle. He's an extra 2 camps up on Broxah because of that visit towards the mid lane, and giving up Broxah's position there just gives even more pressure over to one of the critical parts of EG's win conditions I was talking about in Champ Selective, the Kindred plus Twisted Fate. If your Kindred's getting a good early experience lead over the Trundle and gets to invade him already, that's really going to set up Svenskeren for success. This is a guy you don't want to give any sort of extra advantages to. MVP last year.
Yeah, exactly. And as you were saying, the invade, takes a few of those Raptors, because all of that information he was able to grab from Brox, it means, hey, you went right mid. That means all of the rest of your game. Really awesome to kind of see inside the minds of how the junglers are playing, how they're passing around each other, and now Sven's going to head towards mid. They're actually going to go straight for Jensen first. He's forced to flash out of the situation, as now Broxah's forced to leave. They don't want to refresh on these double buffs, but they're still looking to get a blue card. Comes out, and the wild card's not wild enough. Leaves Broxah with 100 HP.
That's pretty clear there. Again, the level advantage for Kindred. He's waiting right there, so another attempt from Team Liquid on mid lane. Feels like they got sent into game with an objective here. All right, we got to focus on mid early, try and burn some stuff from Jiizuke, but it's a Twisted Fate with double mobility summoners with the spellbook, and Ghost now having the instant speed when you use it. It's really difficult as a Cassio Trundle to punish that, so they're unable to get anything there, even blow one of the summoners. Didn't blow any of them, and it gives Svenskeren full reign.
Oh, fights on every side of the map. Zeyzal getting hit up, 100 HP, heal coming through there. They flash forward to get him, and it's going to be one last shot from Tactical to pick up first blood of the game. TL now on the move with teleports to bot. Impact was getting pressured by Svenskeren, but now he's here to party on the bot side, and they've lost one for each, but that's going to be a double kill for Kumo. Coming in huge as he answers with a TP, going for the coast-to-coast fight.
Oh, Riv, Kumo has been stepping up in summer for Evil Geniuses, and he matches the teleport down there with Impact, flashing in to secure the second kill, even though Team Liquid commits and they get the first blood for themselves. 2 more now go over to the Volibear. This is a champion that can crush lane phase. Yeah, let's see it again. Let's take another look at how it actually started out. It was a lane gank from Broxah, nice little lantern usage there to get him in, and really good pillar from Broxah to cut off the Tri-Brush escape from Zeyzal, making him switch back the other way. And they are barely able to finish it, but as you know, Kumo comes in first with the teleport. There's a slight desync on the timing. Then Impact actually yoinks Bang closer to him and realizes after what he's done, and immediately gets collapsed on. Now, Impact did have Flash, so he could have flashed early, knowing that Kumo had already used his to get the first kill, but Impact did not flash. Pulled in Bang, and he goes down too.
Knowing there's backs around the map and a bit of pressure here in mid and bottom, Broxah is able to take the first mount break. We're in these marks as well if we can see him coming up. Svenskeren hiding with Sweeper on, just behind Jensen, waiting to get on that flash, which is half cooldown. They're just going to keep roaming. Svenskeren being really aggro this game. Awesome to see as he's going from lane to lane again. Impact's going to be pushed in. Volibear just keeps lightning slashing away at lane, and see what happens here.
He's level 6 Rib, he can turn off the tower. Here it comes. Kumo gonna make use of that Volibear ultimate.
He's looking when to leap, where to leap. It's gonna be Jiizuke here too, and they wait for the mid laner to come in, and they feed him a kill on the silver platter. Jiizuke comes up with a kill for himself there with the help of the team.
Yeah, honestly, that might have even been overkill. When I just see Kumo level 6 and Svenskeren up there, I'm like, okay, Impact is dead. However, with a Twisted Fate ult on top of it, Jiizuke is able to get the last hit there, so he does get the gold, and they continue it in with a red buff steal. But they did give up a few minions in mid lane as Jensen was able to push that one ahead, and you can see the CS discrepancy actually starting to open up for that Cassiopeia. This is one thing that EG might have to keep in mind is the late game scaling of the Cassiopeia as, they do have this early lead, and it's great, but...
Not a lot of the jungle controlled right now by Team Liquid. They can still have that time to scale, like you said, especially if they get any time with an objective. This team can just absolutely slaughter Merit for a Already see him with one. Cloud's next. That they may even get Ocean. Blue on top of that as a Soul Drake fight for in this game. 59-31 in the top lane. You talked about Kumo stepping up in this lane that we watch. We've gotten some interaction from Svenskeren up here for sure, but he's usually here now when the lane's pushed in and they're prepped up. So that little bit that Kumo is able to work with, he's really been able to build.
Yeah, laid out in Champ Selects. When we were talking about areas of focus for EG, the top triangle is going to be a point of power with the Volibear matchup early advantage. And then to put a cherry on top of it, he teleports down, they get 2 kills early. Kumo's just living the dream life right now with all of the extra jungle pressure, having Svenskeren be able to split the map towards topside, and already having influenced the bottom side, getting those extra kills. So we'll see that pressure continue.
Yep. We talked a little bit about Jensen just a moment ago. 82-59 as Jiizuke's been teleporting around, trying to do things here, trying to get Jensen to kill. We do see a bit more play from Team Liquid around the mid lane coming into the Summer Split here, but nothing coming just yet. Hard to get crowd control on that fast Twisted Fate.
Yeah, I'm still just so perplexed by this fascination with mid lane that Team Liquid have. Getting sent in there with mid lane on their mind, but Twisted Fate again doubles summoner spells, and Jiizuke knows he can hover to top half of the map because Svenskeren is splitting the map there, and he's got control wards on the top half, so he continues to hover on the top side of the lane, and when the Trundle runs at him, you see there, this time he was actually more cautious, and he did pop his Ghost for the instant speed to dodge away, but the Ghost definitely has the shorter cooldown of the two and still holds on to the flash, so completely fine. Doesn't fall to the gank or anything. But again, the one warning I have, and I'll keep bringing it up, is the CS lead for Jensen for Cassiopeia. She can scale incredibly well, so they do have to keep their eyes on it.
It'll be big. Jensen having the plays, the TP's there as well. We have to remember they couldn't really get a global pick inside of TL. Also didn't choose to throughout the ban phase with EG banning out Shen, but they say 3 teleports will allow us to maybe follow the Twisted Fate, the mindset he will put into place. TP wasn't able to turn around, or they're just going to go into the turret. Yes, they will, even not being deactivated as Kumo gets in there, and they are going to be able to walk right out with a kill onto Jensen.
The tables have turned, Riv. EG are like, all right, we've seen enough of your silly Trundle ganks towards mid. Let's show you how to do it. 2 forms of crowd control they can bring. Hard CC, Riv. That's what I like to see in my ganks. Not just a little slow. Jiizuke doesn't hesitate. He flashes in. He gets the gold card off. And even though Jensen flashes away, and by the way, ults as he's flashing away with his cursor that way, Kumo can follow with the flash of Volibear. Another stun, another form of hard crowd control, and they've got the damage to finish Jensen off under the turret. Both summoners being blown. Now, though, that Jiizuke blew the flash offensively, maybe Team Liquid can try and have 4 times the charm visit towards mid lane with the Trundle Cassio.
It would be if they're keeping track of where those cooldowns are. They would definitely have a window to get in there. Maybe they're using that window though to say, let's take another Drake, set these on pace, and then we can figure out with the next one coming up. Really need to fight for it towards the bot lane. Box goes down, so it's time to disengage this fight. TL needs to focus on the Drake first, and that's going to be taken from Svenskeren as he just waltzes right in. Can he get a hop over the wall? He's going to get followed by Broxah. Throws down Lamb's Respite as Zeyzal is here. That's going to be an Unbreakable and a shield. Heal comes in as well, and that's not good for Broxah. Oh, they give it to Jiizuke again. They are so behind playing behind Jiizuke, your Master Guard Player of the Week in Week 1.
Oh, yep, they cash in. Oh my goodness, this is actually just a dominating opening here from EG. That's definitely a Svenskeren tweeting out #LiveEvil there. Easily slips in over the back of the Dragon Pit with the Kindred Q. Everybody else was distracted towards the bottom side. Svenskeren both wins the Dragon Smite fight using the E on the Dragon to get a bunch of percentage HP damage. And then he flashes out, baits Broxah over. Okay.
Even more. Oh, but you can't even finish the fight before the next one's starting here, and it's just skirmishes. Wait a minute. Jiizuke being Jiizuke, of course he's gonna go back in.
Yeah.
Looking to pressure him with the wild cards. Nobody's even there. They're pinging that they're gonna be in the jungle sometime soon, but Jiizuke looking to fight a 2v1, and TL doesn't want it, because they don't know what's on the other side of that fight.
And it looks like they're going to punish them, take red plus a lot of damage onto the tower. Remember, we're still under 13 minutes into this game. Turret plates are still active. So EG continuing to get these pushes off. They're getting more money. Twisted Fate now takes top tower down to 2 plates left, and EG continue to bolster their early game lead. I think just really effectively using all of the top triangle pieces of the Kindred, Twisted Fate, and Volibear.
Absolutely, and I think Kumo's going to need a ban on that. Looking comfortable, feeling comfortable, playing around Svenskeren fantastic when that lane is pushed up. So, like you said, working out for them. See if TL can put a stop to it, though. Still scaling. That's the name of the game here. Lane does not go in their favor. So, looking about 4,000 gold behind anybody's game, but definitely weighted in favor of Evil Geniuses here. We have 2.5 minutes on Infernal. That's going to be what's changing our rift. Get flipped up here. Be a blue buff to Jensen.
That's the classic when you're in solo queue and your team's getting smashed pretty early. You just go, okay, well, we're scaling, everybody. We're scaling. Everybody don't tilt. You know, we can definitely get there. And it's actually true for a lot of these champions that Team Liquid have drafted. It's just that EG are doing so good a job at just pushing the game ahead here. And again, they don't have terrible scaling. They do have the Aphelios farming away on the bottom side. And Svenskeren, with such an early lead on the Kindred, has been able to continually stack up these marks. So plenty of options here for EG as they have everybody turn their eyes towards the mid lane to take down the primary tower.
Had the chance to clean their plates. Those went down. Now it's going to be the turrets themselves. That's the first one in mid, and a good one to take down. The map gets opened up quite a bit here for Evil Geniuses. This TL now, we finally get to see them playing from behind, really. You know, Gold may have gone back and forth in some of their games before as they are undefeated, but this is the game where really finding out how they're going to play from behind, how they decide things. And as we're saying, scaling is a word. We'll stop saying it, but that's going to just make them look very patient right now. Is it looks like EG is taking whatever they want for the time being, and rightfully so. What an early game. Jiizuke with teleports around using his global comp nicely. Kumo Again, just now that he can give an impact what for in the top side. Here we have 3 EG members, and it looks like they grab another turret as they go around the horn.
Yep, they're going to zone impact off the turret. 2 down, and that's your #1 goal when you're running the Twisted Fate composition, getting all the outer turrets down early. Zeyzal's got the slow on the CoreJJ.
Stopwatch buy enough time here? Never say never. He's like, I'll take the ward down though. Nice flash over the wall. He knew he could get out by time for it. Flash is actually into Jiizuke as they're on the other side of the wall. Is it going to be another wild card that comes out to find him? It's the Ignite! The Unsealed Spellbook comes up big there, and he's able to get the kill down. Nicely done. They're going to keep this fight going. Impact now trying to get himself in and out of the fight if the team wants it. Seems like communication from TL says yes. Impact is in as he throws the ult down onto Zeyzal so he doesn't go down, but separates one. Disrupts the fight. Evil Genius is trying to figure out a way back out, but TL may have this one locked down. I don't know. Here comes Jiizuke again, turning the tables. Wild cards again. Tactical down to about 300 HP as Kumo enters the fight as he runs down from the top side of the map. Top's pushed, mid's pushed. TL has her backs against the wall here from bot side.
Yep, and Svenskeren's also got the Rift Herald, so that's going to be tower #3. All the outers under fire here from Team Liquid so early in the game. Let's see Broxah and Svenskeren, another smite fight on the Braum. Broxah actually wins that one. The consolation prize smite fight, you know, round 2, where the prize is like 1/10 of what the first one was. Infernal Dragon is up, so they should as well be able to reset and get that one. EG just clear out the extra ward here.
Doesn't look like they'll grab that mark and just missed out on one. Probably got a few though. One. As TL moves in quickly. Make sure they don't lose too many more objectives here. They need to get control of something so EG Snowball doesn't get too out of control. 6,000 gold now.
Yeah, that's a big ball. They got 5 stacks, now 6 stacks. They just ticked over for Jiizuke, and he's rushed the Lichbane. This is a confidence play here from Jiizuke. They are doing so well in the early game. Now with the Lichbane, it puts so much more pressure on the split push for EG. They can easily move their wards up, control the rest of the jungle, allow Svenskeren to get the deeper marks that spawn in enemy territory. Because, again, like we said in Champ Select, the Twisted Fate just covers so well with this champion. Jiizuke being able to come and answer and pick up any of these straggling kills like we just saw on bottom side, where he teleported in on CoreJJ, laid down the Ignite, and continues to look for the re-engages with those gold cards. Is just such a big part of the coordination here with EG, which you were talking about in the intro. One of the things that has led to their success and to this team rising to the top of the LCS. I know a lot of people yesterday when EG got smashed by Cloud9 started to lose a little bit of faith, and they're like, you know, maybe are they still top 3? I think most teams are going to get smashed by Cloud9 right now. So EG, this is important for them to continue to re-establish themselves as one of the dominant LCS squads.
Absolutely. Yeah, to that point, it seems like everybody's getting a few kills on LCKR. They're like, we're doing it! And then it just goes the other way. Because he's like, yeah, here's a few eggs for your basket, but don't put them all in one place. Yeah, we'll see it now here with EG definitely having a better day. Able to bring that confidence back out. And right under the turret, Jiizuke, brazen! Teleport in as he comes in with the Twisted Fate gate, but they're not able to pick up the kill just yet. Svenskeren is in a 1v1 with CoreJJ. Lamb's fight goes down as he gets Tactical to come over the wall. Tactical now putting up his dukes and trying to get into the fight, but TL and EG coming away with 0 kills on that. Top lane's getting pushed in as Impact and Kumo are having a bit of a party up there themselves. I don't know if this one's going to end just yet as EG looks to get out of Team Liquid jungle here, pushing lanes in mid.
Yeah, Brazen is right, Riv. That one, for me, I was a little aggro for my taste right under the tower, but Team Liquid cannot punish them for it because they're so far behind in gold. They don't have the damage to actually kill anyone off, even when they are that deep. And, you know, good collapse there. Zeyzal also came in with the Braum to support and add the extra CC for them to evacuate. And the goal was accomplished. This is a 2-level lead for the Kindred over the Trundle. Really abusing that ranged matchup. And Svenskeren hitting to the level 11 plus having the extra speed and armor shred utility of a Black Cleaver just makes him so difficult to catch. You can see they tried to layer CC and 100% to 0 stun Svenskeren, but they were unable to quite finish him off, and then you just get another Lamb's Respite.
Like they're always able to back each other up on the side of Evil Geniuses at that last moment. Almost got CoreJJ, almost got tactical. Just kind of reeling them in here as the fight angles on. See what happens with Impact on the top side. He feels safe with Broxah there at least, but I don't know how much positioning even is safe for Team Liquid. They need to have the whole team there at this point. Impact's going to try to throw down the ultimate here to get himself to safety. Not just yet, though. They may have turned this one on Evil Geniuses. And oh, how the turntables! Will they be able to get this fight in their favor? Team Liquid now starting to be able to stop the fights from Evil Geniuses. Still looking worse for the wear here as they get themselves back to reset position. But EG not getting the turrets off of this one now. Not getting too many summoners out, I should say. With the ultimates coming out. One teleport there from Jensen. He had to be in the fight. And Impact to take control of the bot lane as they're trying to rotate each other around here. Get into the right spot to defend turrets. EL still backed against the wall, but they're not giving up.
Yep, definitely not, and they're trying to turn around these plays. That was another attempt and really close at turning around the kill onto Kumo, but just unable, as Kumo did a good job with his evasive maneuvers, ult flashing, running towards the Braum to try and save him, hugging the wall there, trying to dodge everything he possibly could, and in the end, scoreboard says still alive, so no harm, no foul. EG reached pretty deep again at another attempted pick, but Team Liquid cannot punish them for it, and it should be another pretty easy dragon for EG to retain control over this. They have plenty of time to set up, 30 seconds still left. If you're looking at the items though, and you are trying to see a way for Team Liquid to mount their comeback, they do have at least the double item power spike for Jensen. The Cassiopeia, again, is going to be one of the main things they're trying to set up to take over the team fights. Jensen has to have a good ulti and has to remain throwing out his offensive spells. That means a lot of pressure on CoreJJ and Broxah to create room for Jensen. See if they can actually rush through this dragon, because EG are making the call for Twisted Fate to come back down. There's the ult.
Zeyzal on the flank, but Impact is there as well. Wait, they are all sorted out in this one. It's going to be Dragon going over to Team Liquid, and now the fight ensues. Watching all over the place here. Broxah's going down in the pit. His Impact's going to fall just outside. True Shot Barrage is just going to tickle Evil Geniuses as that goes across. And now they're going to be sticking on Impact for as long as possible to save Zeyzal. And they make it happen. Bang takes on Impact as this one may be over. Kumo's trying to keep it going, or at least keep an eye on Team Liquid so they can't get control of their side of the map. And a back and forth, punch for punch at this point is always going to go in favor of Evil Geniuses.
Yep. Team Liquid, they do sneak in and they cut off the dragon stacking. So by taking down this dragon, now they don't have to overextend themselves too much onto the map for the next one, which would have been soul point for EG. And they do give up one kill, but that's a decent escape for Team Liquid considering how far behind they are. I would still say, obviously, EG in the driver's seat here. They do take another tower as Jiizuke with his Lich Bane on Twisted Fate just saunters on over. But for Team Liquid, if you're trying to count your lucky stars here for something, at least they won't have to face that Dragon Soul anytime soon, and they can get a little bit more time to try and scale up. Whereas EG continue, push the game ahead here. They've got Baron to try and fight Team Liquid over.
Zeyzal can get a good clear on some of these wards here. A nice security system set up by Team Liquid over towards the Baron pit. They are keeping all of their options open. Any little window they can get into a fight that they have numbers on. Team Liquid have to take at this point. And again, I said it before, we haven't seen them in this position yet throughout the split. I mean, I think losing a game overall, I'd say, is a blessing and a curse. We hear sometimes that, you get to figure out where you actually are going wrong. You get complacent when the wins just come in. We've heard that quite a bit as well. And all of those things, they plague you at different times. You're never going to know. So it'd be good to get a loss early, but you always like the wins. You never want to take a loss.
Here we go.
Yell in it. Oh, right away. Gets himself a cleanse out, gets himself the safety, and Jiizuke is going to help get a kill on the tactical as they move in instantly on the Ezreal. Just teleporting everywhere they want. And they took a little bit to figure out who was alone on the herd, and then they acted instantly from the side of Evil Genius.
Yep, that's why the towers are so important when you're facing a comp like EG have here. Jiizuke constantly looking for the ultimates, and with the secondary ones falling there, nowhere for safety for tactical. Kumo actually goes in on CoreJJ. He's basically just playing screen right now. He's the bouncer, keeping Broxah away from the pit, so there's no hope of a Team Liquid attempt even. Broxah also doesn't even have flash, so no way he was getting over there. Blast cone exploded. Yep. And it is going to be EG wearing purple, looking to finish this one early.
Here they decide to go. They still have all of their turrets, Kobe. This is pretty gross. Doing a great job so far of controlling the overall state of the map from the side of Evil Geniuses. Team Liquid, however, looking to set up a bushwhack here towards the bramble pit of Evil Geniuses. EG pushing up mid, so at least TL will have the inside track and try to come around, but it looks like it's just going to have to be a teleport. EG didn't need anything in their jungle. They just want to win this game, apparently.
Exactly. There's no reason for EG to go fishing around in the jungle, checking brush. You are 10,000 gold ahead with Baron buff. Just run straight up the lanes, use your Baron buff, and finish this one out. So no messing around here. Good shot calling from EG. They have Twisted Fate topside, buffing up those minions with Jiizuke, and then the triple man push in mid does get him right up to the tower, and you can see the cannon minion doing a lot of work, even with no members of EG having to put themselves in a dangerous spot. Those cannon minions will wear away at the turrets.
And stack Magi's now as well for Jiizuke, as he is just laying on pressure. See if they can do on every lane here against Team Liquid. They're trying to defend in mid, as that inhibitor turret might just go down. CoreJJ's hook just misses on the outside there, as Kumo's going to be able to solo that turret down on the bot side, give himself some Sky Splitter shield, do so safely, and that's one inhibitor going down. All three taking damage at the same time, as Evil Geniuses are knocking hard at the front door of Team Liquid's base.
Yep, it looks like they've got him surrounded, Riv. How can Team Liquid get themselves out of this one? One last fight, 5 members alive, with the Nexus turrets going down quickly.
Slowly standing, just waiting to cross that line of scrimmage. Who's going to do it first and start the fight? Tons of damage onto the turrets. They're going to get disabled as well, as Kumo just dives in. Broxah's going to go gold to try and save himself some time. Impact now into Svenskeren. I think that's going to be a lost fight with Lamb's Respite, and that's Impact now going gold. Looks like TL's able to hold on a little bit longer, but that's it. TL frozen in place as EG moved themselves to 3-1 in the Summer Split.
And in style, too. EG yesterday, they get just dismantled by Cloud9. However, turning it around very quickly versus another undefeated opponent here, and establishing themselves by defeating Team Liquid. I think people are going to put EG right back up there. All these teams contending for the number 2 spot behind Cloud9. Really interesting whenever we do see these matchups, and Team Liquid definitely getting their asses handed to them this time.
Yeah, that was a game and a half. You said it, Kobe. On the other side, the State Farm Analyst Desk will break down how Kumo built his early lead. We'll take a look at that. Do not go anywhere.
Hello and welcome to the State Farm Analyst Desk after that victory from Evil Geniuses over Team Liquid, moving to 3-1 on the split. Now, gentlemen, we had thrown up win conditions preceding this game, and I want to dive straight into the draft, take a look at whether or not our teams decided to take your advice in terms of setting themselves up for success. Crumbs, I know you have some thoughts.
Yeah, so EG took the win conditions that I thought would be good for Team Liquid. Heavy priority on Twisted Fate. Every region in the world is playing this champion, and when you pick it, you really just camp the top lane, and you abuse your strong jungler. So that's why the Kindred pairing was really sick here. But on the flip side, Team Liquid just went with a very passive composition, and once again showed that the mid 2v2 synergy is over-indexing in helping Jensen and putting Broxah too far behind to then contest later on into the game.
I mean, I will say the Broxah gank had a lot of potential, but if you watch the early game, EG actually placed
which one? What? The first one did not have any potential.
Okay. EG put an invade ward, so they actually see Broxah. I do believe Jiizuke's playstyle would have kept him forward if he did not see Broxah coming behind him there.
It's level 1 Cassiopeia. What is this kill? What is this supposed to do against a flashed ghost TF? I don't think there's much that you can do here. And just setting yourself behind as TF, as Trundle versus Kindred, is only gonna hurt.
I mean, those are all good points about things that went wrong in this game. I'm going to take another angle, and I'm going to hype up Kumo. I mean, he was absolutely fantastic this game, again, for the 4th game in a row. And it all started in this bot play where he was able to get a really fast TP off into the bot lane. He had pressure up in the top side. They were also ganking him during this, so he's able to get down there while Mord is also already a little bit chunked out. But he had pressure the whole time because of the Volibear pick again. And this is going to give him 2 clean, quick kills that he's going to be able to take into the top side and continue to snowball with insane turret dives with the ability to turn it off and have TF join globally, and Kindred as well if you ever need to be able to survive them. I mean, this is a huge win for them. And the most baffling part about all of this is that TL last pick, self-counterpicked themselves with Mordekaiser into Volibear. Volibear is good into Mordekaiser. First off, I understand that the Death Realm is a way to dodge out potentially on TF gold cards, but they can just turn the turret off. It doesn't do anything. The best thing you can do is try to not be under turret and take a good matchup. No one is able to punish Kumo with his Volibear, and he runs over the game. Look at that gold lead at 10 minutes. 1,300 gold up from all those kills.
32 CS. It's amazing.
The exciting part about him is that he used to be playing weak side the whole time on Spring, and so now we're actually starting to see what happens if you give him resources. And so the fact that he was able to TP so quickly was because Kindred was able to bully out the Trundle. He gets up there, but he's getting to the fights on time. He's setting up the ganks for his team. So now we're thinking there might be way more threats that EG can play with, and that makes him a much scarier team, especially if they want to go with a rematch against Cloud9, because they're going to need everybody firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, not only that, Crumbs, I think this also feeds into that discussion we were having probably about meta and the speed at which certain teams and players are able to adapt to and bring out those new champions. Kumo, of all of the LCS pros so far, has shown the largest affinity for Volibear. We're still waiting on some other picks, I know, Mark, but
you know who's good
great.
You know who they could have picked? This guy I heard is decent into Volibear, or Aatrox. Both those were up. Or you could pick
and
a
Impact
matchup.
We know is happy to play an Aatrox, but
too.
probably I want to talk about this young player who Crumbs just stated is really carving out a place for himself in the league in this summer split by bringing out picks like this and showing a mastery over it so early on.
Yeah, so not only is he the first one to be bringing out Volibear like this, or maybe a second, I might be mistaken there, he's blind picking it too. So this is not only something that he's good at, but it's something he's so confident in. He's like, I don't really mind the counter picks. They do end up banning the Shin and the Jace in 4-5, but still, that's like, he set himself up to be counterpicked in that 3rd pick. So I really do like that. And Crumbs mentioned before, like the fast TP, I really don't want to understate this. The top laner being able to TP on time and quickly is such a game changer. Those 2 kills bot lane are going to look free to a lot of viewers, but really, if you're half a second slower on that TP, you're going to be in a bad position. You need to get out. So yeah, a lot of props in for his picks and for his play.
And then from here, I'm going to backtrack to that little bit of a disagreement that we had around the mid focus from Broxah early on in the game. But as opposed to dissecting that play individually, I think I want to talk about what this paints in terms of a picture strategically for each of these teams. We've talked about Team Liquid. What will their identity be in summer? Do we expect them to go towards Jensen and away from the bot lane? And whether or not the strategy worked this time around, I think we're getting evidence game after game that that Team Liquid is looking at Jensen as one of their primary threats on the team.
And
Go
go
ahead.
for it, Mark.
Oh, me? Okay.
You get
I
it
was going to
this
say,
time.
it feels a little streamlined for the side of Team Liquid, where they know what they want to play, it feels like, but they're not really taking into account, like, how hard is this going to hurt me in the Kindred versus Trundle matchup, or how much is going to hurt me versus Nidalee? What is our top lane actually going to do in this matchup and against the enemy team comp? Like, I like the general idea of throwing resources in Jensen's lane to get him ahead, but not if it's going to come at these big costs. Same with the top side. So I think there are clear improvements to take more into account of the actual matchups with their planning.
Yeah, like the gank mid, I think in isolation really isn't terrible, but when he's doing these ganks against a Nidalee or against a Kindred, he gets heavily punished and he won't be able to come back. So I think doing these kind of plays in slightly different matchups will work a lot better, but when he's in a poor matchup and he's giving resources to mid, it's gonna just get worse and worse.
And I'm going to come back to you, Crumbs, for the final word here, rather, because I think when you then look at the other side, it kind of points to maybe an intelligent identification from Evil Geniuses to know that that pressure is coming towards specifically for it, knowing Jiizuke is the kind of guy who can fall victim to this and protect against it multiple times.
Exactly, because they've seen what they do around Jensen, so it might be what Mark is saying, too streamlined, a little bit too obvious, got to mix and match a little bit more, and we've seen what junglers like Centauran like to do when they play against these aggressive junglers. They really make sure that they can secure their camp safely, keep up in levels, and then start to take fights where their odds are much more in their favor. Cassiopeia level 1, I mean, come on, there's no way that actually gets you any advantage besides maybe you get a flash, because he also had to go pillar second, so he's hurting his clear even more by doing that. It is just too selfless of a style that is just not suitable for the current Season 10 meta.
Evil Geniuses find the win in hand. Team Liquid, their very first loss, rather, of Summer Split. Both teams now standing at 3-1. We're going to step away on the other side, though. It's FlyQuest versus Dignitas. Don't go anywhere.
Heal coming through there. They flash forward to get him, and it's going to be one last shot from Tactical to pick up first blood of the game. TL now on the move as teleports to bot. Impact was getting pressured by Svenskeren, but now he's here to party on the bot side. Fox goes down to time to disengage this fight. TL needs to focus on the Drake first, and that's going to be taken from Svenskeren as he just waltzes right in. Can he get a hop over the wall? He's going to get followed by Broxah. Throws down Lambs despite his Zeyzal is here. That's going to be an unbreakable and a shield. Heal comes in as well, and that's not good for Broxah. Tons of damage onto the turrets. They're going to get disabled as well as Kumo just dives in. Broxah's going to go gold to try and save himself some time. Impact now at his Svenskeren. I think that's going to be a lost fight with Lambs despite.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis? Hey, do they ever ask you what you're wearing?
Yeah.
Red sweater, button-down shirt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.